Khloé Kardashian is speaking out about the unauthorized photo making rounds on social media, and we're breaking down everything she has to say. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have to talk about Khloé's statement, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Gabby, and I'm joined by the lovely Fiona Zaring today. Alright, so Khloé Kardashian has been under the microscope again this week after a bikini photo of her that was not approved was posted on social media by one of their assistants. The family quickly took action to get it off the internet, but fans were wondering why after she seemingly looked great. Khloé just gave her side of the story in a new statement on her Instagram, along with several videos of her unretouched. So before we get into all the details of what she had to say, Fiona, I want to know, did you see the photo? What did you think about it? And how did you think they dealt with this situation, trying to get it down so quickly?
You know, what's interesting is when I first saw this headline, I just assumed that a paparazzi had snuck in through the bushes, took a photo of her, and she was, fighting to get it taken down. Didn't even faze me that it could have been something that, was posted or something that she, honestly looked great, looked just like a person in, but she personally didn't love it. And as I sort of thought about it more and looked into what was going on and read all the details, I had a whole roller coaster of thoughts. Because honestly, at first I was like, she looks great. Who cares? What's the big deal? But then I thought about it and I honestly was like, okay, let's say a friend uploaded a bunch of photos, to Instagram, to Facebook, and I hated one of the ones that I was in. I just didn't like it. It just didn't look like me. It didn't make me happy. 100% I would text that friend and be like, oh, sorry, can you take that down? I hate it. And that wouldn't feel weird to me at all. So Khloé lives her life on a very different scale. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of the equivalent here, right? I mean, if you really kind of break it down, nobody wants photos of themselves out there that they don't like.
Exactly. And of course, we're not going to show the photo here because we don't want to get sued by Khloé or the family, but I'm sure you can go ahead and look it up on social media if you haven't seen it already. That's such a great point, Fiona. I've totally done the same thing where all my friends thought I looked great. It's just something that I didn't love in the photo or the lighting or any of the elements that, made me look not my best and I didn't want it online. You just text them and say, hey, take it down. But with Khloé, it takes a lot of different steps to get through that because it's everywhere out in the world now. So I definitely sympathize with her for that. Let's get into her statement now because it was pretty powerful. Again, she posted on Instagram a couple of videos of her going live and some videos of her just showing how her body looks naturally to take away the fact that people can say everything's photoshopped, everything is fake. She put it all out there and said, this is what I look like. Then she followed with a statement that started by saying, quote, hey guys, this is me and my body, unretouched and unfiltered. The photo that was posted this week is beautiful, but as someone who has struggled enough with body image her whole life, when someone takes a photo of you that isn't flattering in bad lighting or doesn't capture your body the way it is after working so hard to get it to this point, and then shares it to the world, you have every right to ask for it not to be shared regardless of who you are. This is so true. As we were saying, we all have photos of us that we don't like, mostly on our mom's Facebook pages. But other than that, it's just not on the same scale that she was saying. So even in her statement, she mentioned this is out to the world. And maybe she was just having a really bad day. She worked out a ton and just didn't like how she looked in this photo, So there's a lot of layers to this. I'm really glad that she came out with this statement saying this. But what did you think about how she handled this by posting the videos of herself and then this lengthy statement?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I just keep coming back to like you said, mom's Facebook page, perfect example. She's just dealing with this on such a different scale. She's had to literally hear on a daily basis for years and years and years now everyone's criticism, opinions, thoughts on, hair color change, body positivity or lack thereof. She's just had to hear so much noise regarding her appearance that I have to imagine that at this point it's something that she's really guarded about, right? Something that probably is emotional. It's a difficult, I can't even imagine what that must be like to live with on a daily basis. And the reality is, we've all seen the videos, the Kardashians work out like crazy. People who are in the public eye who kind of honestly themselves, their appearance, their body, it's all a part of their brand. It's all a part of a very carefully cultivated image. I totally understand why to someone like Khloé, she wants that image to reflect what she's been working towards, you know, what she's putting
Mhm.
forward into the world. I mean, we were talking about this before we started filming, Gabby. Hello, in every hot tub scene on The Bachelor this past season, we didn't know that Matt James did 100 push-ups before diving in. I mean, if you're a public figure, you want to portray your look, your appearance, you know, whether it's your body, your face, you know, etc., the way you feel it looks at its best, because you're not posting it on Instagram to 200 people. You're
Mhm.
literally opening it up to the world and comments are going to be made. So, I don't know. I think it's just it is what it is. It's a very warped version of reality. But if you try
Mhm.
to remove the crazy, you know, fame, etc., it does sort of make sense. And I get why someone like Khloé, the only way she felt she could kind of reclaim this is by proving once and for all, like, this is me. This is what I look like unretouched, but this is what I look
Yeah.
like at my best unretouched, when I'm proud of it, when I feel confident, right? I mean, you could tell how confident she was in those videos, as she should be.
Exactly. I totally agree with you about all of that, Fiona. I think it's a great point to say that this is all a part of her brand. She is a model for her businesses, for her sister's makeup lines, for everything, for Skims. She's a model. So it requires a lot to keep your body looking right and being able to uphold your brand. She's not just a regular person. And but on the other hand of it, like she is just a normal person who deals with body issues and deals with hate comments all the time, and it takes a toll on her. She went on to say in her statement that, quote, "You never quite get used to being judged and pulled apart and told how unattractive one is. But I will say, if you hear anything enough, then you start to believe it." So, this is really sad to hear. I know it sounds like it's seriously weighing on her and a part of all the family members. They get hate all the time, like you said, daily. So, it's really going to take a toll on them. And I'm wondering what you think, because even in this most recent season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it seems like Khloé has been the one to always let hate comments get to her. We saw it with her and
Mhm.
Tristan when there was Scott's comment on her Instagram that started dating rumors and all of that. And then here we are again with another photo that's been online. Khloé seems to be very sensitive. Is she just more sensitive of the group, or does she have the total right to be upset every time something like this goes on?
You know, I think there's something to be said about, even though they're all, you know, sisters, whatever, they all have very different personalities. And I also think that, like, when I read through this statement, it took me all the way back to the earliest days of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a different time, a different type of like headline was more appropriate then. I mean, like, Khloé was really put through the ringer in comparison to her sisters, right? I mean, Kim Kardashian, just everyone basically, I mean, let's face it, was obsessed with the way she looked. And I feel like I can't imagine how hard it would be as someone who has sister, right? Like, if my sister was constantly on billboards and all anyone wanted to talk about was how gorgeous she was, of course I would be happy for her success. But if at the same time everyone was criticizing me and saying that, oh, how am I even related to her? That would sting. And that would be something that I would have to carry with me for a long
Mhm.
time. So I think to be for so many years, not only directly compared to other women, but directly compared to your sisters and told that, like, basically they were a little luckier than you were in the gene pool, that has got to be so heavy to carry. So I think that, you know, they've all had to deal with a crazy amount of, you know, people's opinions being thrown in their face all the time. And especially they've had to deal with the fact that, like, well, you're famous, you have millions of dollars, you know, you can't possibly be offended by this. You know, you don't have the right to. You've put yourself out there. And, you know,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. To a certain degree, they're celebrities. Of course, they've put themselves out there. That doesn't make the emotional toll of that kind of hate on a daily basis any easier. So, I don't know. I think she definitely like may have a different way of processing the hate, the scrutiny, the attention. But I also feel like there's no right or wrong there. It's just like your journey, your path, how you handle things. And I just hope that she's feeling good right now. I hope that, you know, people hear this message, read this statement, try at least to understand where she's coming from, even if they don't agree. Because
Mhm.
it's a lot. And I would never have the confidence to make one of those videos she made. So just right there, I think it shows, you know, how strong she is and how she can really take control of something when she wants to.
Exactly. You're totally right. She is extremely strong, extremely stunning, and I really do hope that she is feeling a lot better now. I feel like since she posted those videos and this statement, it just throws it out there to all the haters saying, this is not going to bother me anymore. You know, I'm not listening
Mhm.
to any of these comments. So I really think she is making steps forward with that. She also did end up turning this whole issue into a positive in the statement because she finished by saying, quote, for those of you who feel the constant pressure of not ever feeling perfect enough, I want you to know I see you and I understand. Just do you and make sure your heart is happy. So it feels like she's gotten to this place on her own. In the last few days, to be able to then tell other people, if you're out there and you're feeling like me, like we all do sometimes, insecurities and all of that, then I see you, and just be yourself, just be happy. So I think she is now using this, what has turned into a crazy internet issue, into a positive and is inspiring people now. So I definitely took this and said, you know, I'm going to just make sure that I'm happy and not care what other people think. So do we think this is great advice for her followers and fans who are looking up to her?
Oh my God, absolutely. And, I think I've seen, like, since this was posted, I've been scrolling through comments, looking at Twitter reactions, and the biggest thing that I keep seeing is like, but you still have had work done. You still have had this. Like, why don't you come clean about XYZ? Like, all the rumors that every Kardashian has faced about, plastic surgery, this, that, or whatever. And honestly, she didn't blatantly put this in there, but like, just do you, make sure your heart is happy. I don't know
Mhm.
what work she has or hasn't gotten done. But let's say she's re-engineered every single piece of every single, hair on her head, part of her face, whatever it might be, right? Whatever you're taking issue with. Who cares, right? I mean, she has made herself look the way she wants to look so that she can be happy. And I, for
Mhm.
one, I don't think there should be any secrecy with plastic surgery. There is, whatever, it's become a thing, but like if you're happy with the way you look and you've made yourself look the way you want to look, a way that makes you feel confident. You haven't made any
Mhm.
changes to yourself for anybody else but you, right? This stems from like, this is how I feel most confident. Then I think,
Yeah.
that's it. That's what really matters. So again, I think it's great advice. I think that ultimately what we can take away from this is Khloé, no matter how she got here, feels happy and confident in the way she looks right now. And we should be happy for her. And I think that, this was really powerful. And I'm glad that she was able to kind of end it on a positive note. And like you said, flip it to give some advice out there to anyone who's reading this, that whatever it looks like individually could be going through something similar. So yeah, I'm totally here for it.
That is so true, Fiona. I totally agree with you. And of course, that's all we have for our Khloé update today. But the Keeping Up with the Kardashians season is still airing. There's a reunion coming up, so I'm sure we'll be back with so much more Kardashian Jenner news in the future. Of course, let us know what you think about all of this in the comments. What did you think of Khloé's photo and how they dealt with it, and her statement? Did you think that she ended up giving a positive message out to the world? So let us know. And before you go, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'm your host, Gabby Ganta. I was joined by Fiona Zering today. You can follow us at our social handles on the screen right now. Come say hi. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.